Sergeant Crypto here, Crypto Team 6. Today we're going to talk about Bitcoin fundamentals. You're watching Crypto Team 6, so grab a cup of coffee and let's get started. If you like what you see, subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also like our Facebook page and join the conversation by joining the Crypto Team 6 Facebook group. You can follow us on Twitter, and we always want to hear your thoughts, so please leave a comment below. You can really help the channel by sharing this video on all your social media feeds. You can leave us a tip of 0.01 Litecoin to keep the channel going. Thank you for watching. By the way, did you know that every day we take 1/2 of the value in our Exodus wallet and divide it into 3 parts? We then draw 3 Litecoin addresses from the tips that were given on the previous day. The first address gets 50%, the second address gets 30%, and the third address gets 20% of the proceeds. This is our way of giving back to the community that supports us. Keep watching, and thank you for your continued support. Sergeant Crypto. Welcome back, Sergeant Crypto here. Today our topic is Bitcoin, and we're going to start by going to the Bitcoin website to get most of the information. We've got a few other sources here that you can use to follow up and learn a little bit more about Bitcoin. But today is just the fundamentals of Bitcoin. So if you're in cryptocurrency, you're going to want to know the underlying technology of what makes it work, and you're going to want to be able to explain it so you don't sound like a kook like I do sometimes. Anyway, that said, we're going to start by going to a site that you really need to know about, and it's called CoinMarketCap. Now, CoinMarketCap for you crypto investors is a place where you can go to get information about all the cryptocurrencies that are currently have any type of relevance. At the time of this video, there were 1,500 cryptocurrencies. The beauty of CoinMarketCap is you can find out the entire market cap of the entire crypto space, the volume of all cryptos that have traded in the last 24 hours, and the dominance of Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin used to be the only one, and it had 100% dominance. As new cryptos come out, it tends to slip in its market dominance. You'll also know that all the coins that we talked about that are listed up here are listed in their order by strength or market cap. Bitcoin is still the #1 coin, and on CoinMarketCap you'll see that every coin is listed. You can see their individual market caps. You'll see their current price as they've traded last. You'll see the 24-hour volume or the amount of the amount of money that has traded hands in the last 24 hours. You'll also see the circulating supply or the number of coins, contracts, or tokens that are in the issued coin. You'll see the price as it's related, whether it's gone up or down in the last 24 hours. And then lastly, a very simple price graph. Now that's just on the surface. If you go a little deeper, you can click on an individual coin, and CoinMarketCap will take you to some resources that give you more information. Of course, there's the price and the volume and all laid out in a little different format. But here's also some websites that are related to that particular coin, in this case Bitcoin. There's also a block explorer. A block explorer allows you to research transactions within that particular crypto. There's message boards where people in a community go to discuss the cryptocurrency in question. And then there's also, in the case of Bitcoin, since it's open source, you can get the source code and work with that code if you're a developer. You can also get the rank of the particular currency. In this case, Bitcoin is #1. And then it tells you these are some tags. It's a coin, and it's mineable. And we'll get into that in detail. Going a little deeper, you'll see that they have charts. these charts can be, you can zoom in by day, week, month, or look at all time. And that gives you kind of a visual view of the value of a coin over time. The next tab is markets, a place where you can go to find where can you trade or buy the particular coin that you're looking to purchase, and it also gives the percentage of volume where it trades the most. And that'll give you a sense of what liquidity is. In this case, we click on social. Bitcoin is heavily spoken about on Reddit, but other coins will list their social media links. And then lastly, there are tools here. In this case, you can get a little ticker to put on a website if you'd like. All these things are a little different depending on the particular coin. And then lastly, there's historical data. And in this case, you can go back and you can check to see what the highs and the lows and the close were, the particular volume on a day, for those of you who like to look back at history and see what the trend is for your particular coin. So that's CoinMarketCap. It gives you a lot of details about all coins, but in this case, now we're going to get back to Bitcoin, what it is, how it works, and so on. So looking at the Bitcoin homepage, you'll see that Bitcoin is listed as an innovative payment network and a new kind of digital money. Now, Bitcoin, you should know, is peer-to-peer. It offers peer-to-peer transactions, meaning two people can transfer between each other, and it doesn't require a bank or any central authority or intermediary. Basically, if I have a Bitcoin address and you have a Bitcoin address and we each know it, I can send you a particular amount of Bitcoin as long as I have that value in my possession, and you can receive it. It's also borderless, so it can be used anywhere in the world where there's an internet connection, and I have to stress that. If there's no internet, there's no Bitcoin. So you have to have the ability to be online so that your transaction can be entered into the blockchain, verified, and then transferred to the other person's wallet. It also offers fraud protection in that it uses public and private keys and cryptography to mask the transaction. And you should know that Bitcoin is open source. Its design is public, so anybody can see it, anybody can use it, nobody owns it or controls it, and everybody can take part in the process. You can be just a simple user, you can be a business that accepts it, or you can be a developer that works on the continued maintenance and creation of it. So it has a lot of unique properties, and it allows for a lot of different uses. All right, so let's look at how it works. Before we get into how it works, let's talk about who built it. Okay, so I go to Wikipedia. The person named for the origination of Bitcoin is known as Satoshi Nakamoto. Now, Satoshi Nakamoto is not a real person. It's a pseudonym of a person who created it. He either created this name or a group of people created this name. So everything you're going to read on this Wikipedia page, since we don't really know who this person is or who this group is, this has to be some sort of folklore. I mean, because I don't know how we can verify it. If you can't identify the real person and all these things are listed, I mean, the development portion is real, but the person isn't. I mean, this person is claimed to be 42 years old, born in 1975, lived in Japan, is of Japanese descent, and is known to have invented Bitcoin and implementing the first blockchain and deploying the first decentralized currency. Now that's a mouthful, but a blockchain is a technology that is going to change the world. And I'll explain blockchain here in just a moment. So understand that Satoshi Nakamoto is the group or the person that created Bitcoin. And pay attention to the word Satoshi, because when you look at Bitcoin and you see it at $8, $10, $12, $20,000, whatever its current price is, you should know that you don't have to buy an entire Bitcoin. In this case, you can buy Bitcoin in fractions. And Bitcoin, when it is broken out, has a 1, which represents a single Bitcoin, and then the decimal point represents fractions of it. And this decimal point goes out 0.0 or 8 decimal points. And they call those, going back to the name, Satoshis. Now think of everything after the decimal point. If this was $1 and you broke it out into individual components, all of the little things after the period would be called pennies. In the case of Bitcoin, they're called Satoshis. And I'm going to take you to one other place to where you can learn to calculate. Calculate Bitcoin, and I should have had this ready, but it's called a Bitcoin calculator, and I'm going to put it right here. So this is one Bitcoin, and when you click on it, it takes a moment, but it'll come up and give you the current price. But let's say you want to send Bitcoin to somebody, and you want to use it in the way that it's used, like in pennies. So we're going to go out, we're going to put point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 0, 0, 0, because there are 8 zeros after the decimal point. And when I do that, 0.00001 is equal to about a penny. That can't be right. About a penny? No, that's not right. Or, oh, yes, it is. 0.000. Oh, I'm messing this up. So about the 5th decimal point, we get to a penny, and then everything after that is it even goes smaller than pennies. 0, 0, 1, 0. So there are 8 decimal points. So that fraction right there is less than a penny, and it doesn't really break it out that far. This is a terrible example. But let's just break this down. 0.025 Bitcoin is equal to $226. So you can send Bitcoin in fractions. Let's say I owe somebody $100. I want to send them $100. I would need to give them 0.0112040 Bitcoin. I want to send somebody $60, $65.47. I would need to send them 0.0072300. Okay, so I recovered from that fiasco a little bit. Remember, what you need to do is you need to have a Bitcoin calculator. You can Google it. In this case, CoinDesk has one available. And most currencies have these calculators. You just Google them, find them, and if you ever have to send any money, I need to send somebody $12.60. I would need to send them 0.001392 Bitcoin based on its current exchange rate. The exchange rate is up here. They're listing Bitcoin as about $9,052.05, and that would be the price of a single Bitcoin. And once again, I'm going to send $187.50. I would have to send 0.020737 Bitcoin to somebody for them to get the equivalent of $187. So I hope that makes a little sense. Get a Bitcoin calculator and you'll be able to quickly determine how much Bitcoin you need to send in order to equal the amount of fiat that you owe. Now, for the basic user, you should understand that you can operate with Bitcoin with anywhere with an internet connection, and you can use phones, computers, tablets, anything that can be connected and hold a wallet will give you the ability to send Bitcoin. Before we go further though, let's talk about the technology. Now, Bitcoin is known as a blockchain technology, and it's really nothing more than an accounting system. Blockchain consists of a single ledger, and in the case of accounting, a ledger is a collection of financial accounts of a particular type. So extrapolating that out, Bitcoin is a collection of accounts of a particular type, and the particular type in this case is Bitcoin. The accounts are separated by wallets. And the wallets are used to do transactions that are formed into a block and chained together. Now I know that's a mouthful, but let's talk about this. So a blockchain is a public shared ledger, and Bitcoin is the uh, Bitcoin is the the particular type that assembles all of the financial accounts. All right. Transactions are completed using cryptography and private and public keys. Now, you transfer the value of your Bitcoin using a wallet, and I'll show you where to get a wallet in a moment. But if person A has a wallet, and that wallet has a balance of 10 Bitcoin and wants to send 2 Bitcoin to person B, they go to their wallet, they put in the address that they'd like to send to, they use a calculator to determine the amount, and then they go ahead and hit send. And what happens is that transaction is assembled into a block. The block is then sent back to the ledger, and the ledger processes it using a distributed consensus system known as mining. Before I get into mining, I'll just finish. The transaction is assembled into a block, sent back to the ledger. It is verified, and if it is a good transaction, it is completed and the block is closed. And thus, when you add blocks to the ledger, they become permanent and cannot be used again. So what happens is that ledger begins to grow by adding blocks. And thus, when you think of the word blockchain, think of transactions that are put together in a chain to create a ledger. That's blockchain. Blockchain is very simple. When you hear the term, think of an accounting ledger, a group of accounts chained together as a group of transactions that can never be modified. It's really that simple. A ledger of a bunch of transactions formed into blocks and chained together and never can be modified. So mining is known as distributed consensus system, which is used to confirm transactions as they come in. So if user A sends a block to user B and there are other blocks in front of it, it has to wait in line so that the other blocks can be confirmed or denied. If they're confirmed, they're added to the ledger and permanently written. And this is done through time stamping. So the first block that gets there has is time stamped. It is processed, and then the next block is processed, and then they chain them together one after the other after the other. To be confirmed, transactions are packed into the block as we discussed, and they use a cryptographic rules to verify that they are good transactions or they're fraudulent transactions. Mining also creates kind of a lottery. There are people known as miners. Miners are nothing more than a group of computers that hold copies of the ledger, and they're all working mathematic problems trying to determine if these blocks are valid. The miner that confirms the block gets a fee. When you send Bitcoin across the platform, you have to pay a mining fee. That mining fee is given to the person or group or the computer or the miner that solves that problem. And so that's what keeps the system from being fraudulent. There need to be 6 confirmations by 6 different miners. You can't just have one miner that says it's good and it's really not. You need 6 different miners that all go through their ledger to confirm that yes, this is a valid transaction. So how can let's get out of the technical side and just see what Bitcoin can do for individuals. Now, without knowing the technology, it's really a type of digital money, and it makes payments easy. Bitcoin can be used on mobile phones, or it can be used on PCs. And basically what you do is, once you get your wallet, I'll talk about wallets right now, you can get a wallet from Bitcoin directly, or I use a multi-currency wallet called Exodus. But there are many types. You just Google the term wallet and you'll see many of them. I like Exodus for a couple of reasons. But if you go to exodus.io, you simply find a wallet and you download it. And once you download it, you will receive a wallet that looks like this. And in it, you can assemble a portfolio of many cryptocurrencies. In this case, we're considering, and this gives you the entire portfolio value. So you'll see a running value of all of the different cryptos that you might have. In this case, though, the individual wallets are stored alphabetically. Here's Bitcoin. This is a brand new wallet, so it doesn't have anything in it. But I can, if I did have a balance of, say, $1,000 or $20 or whatever, I could send Bitcoin by putting in the person's address and the amount that I'd like to send. Let's say I want to send 0.02 Bitcoin. That's $182. Once I put their address in there and I hit send, it tells me the miner fee. So that's the reward that a miner gets for confirming the transaction, and the remaining balance of my wallet once it's done. I hit send. It goes to the ledger. It goes to the network. One of the master nodes picks it up. They begin the process of verifying it. Once it's verified, the person who's on the other end receives the Bitcoin, and they don't have to do anything. It just shows up, it adds it to their balance, and their portfolio grows that way. If I want to receive Bitcoin, I have an address here. I can do one of two things. I can tell the person, hey, I can send them this little scan image. They can scan it, and my address will end up in there. It'll decode that address. Or we can copy that address, and they can paste it in. Here, I'll show you. Copy. And if I were going to send, I would hit paste, and the address is in there. Now, since it's my own address, I won't be sending to myself, but that's how you just copy an address and put it in there. If you try to memorize these and you get one of these wrong, what'll happen is you'll send your Bitcoin, and if this 9 was actually, and you typed it as an 8, it'll go out there and it will fail to get to the recipient because you got the wrong address, and it'll probably end up in somebody else's wallet. And once it's confirmed, there's no way to get that money back. So you have to be very careful. I wouldn't type these addresses in. I would either copy them, or you can print it and give it to somebody, and then they would have to type it in. I wouldn't recommend that. Or you can email it. You just click that and email it off to whoever. And then I think you can share it as well. Oh no, this is a blockchain explorer. In this case, it's got my address, and it knows that there is no balance in my wallet. All right. So that's it. You choose your own fees. It also protects your identity because your name is not associated to that wallet address. That doesn't mean it gives you a bit of anonymity, but ultimately, once somebody determines that your address is associated with your name, your identity is no longer protected. Okay, that's about it. I think that's all we really need to know. We've gone through blockchain, we've gone through the technology. We know Bitcoin is a simple way to exchange money. Blockchain is the technology. When you hear the word blockchain, understand that it's an accounting system with a ledger, and the ledger is a group of accounts and a list of transactions all chained together. Those transactions, once they're entered in, are permanent and cannot be modified. And so that's all I have for you today. That's the fundamentals of Bitcoin in a nutshell. You're certainly welcome to go on and learn a little bit more. If you want to try to explain Bitcoin to other people, you can most certainly share this video with them, or you can go into these resources here and learn it by heart. But you should know a little bit about the technology and how it works. The term Bitcoin and smart contract are pretty much interchangeable. Smart contracts are the same thing as Bitcoins in that they're blocks of transactions that are written and cannot be changed. And so that's where different altcoins get their technology from. They're all different variations of the same theme. But instead of doing digital currencies, they might do car titles, for example. You know, blockchain is going to change the world. Health records, for example, legal. There's anything you can think of that has some sort of possession or ownership between individuals can now be turned into a ledger blockchain type format. And that's why you're seeing such a scramble. And although Bitcoin may not be here forever, because Bitcoin is the original blockchain, newer, faster technologies are moving into place. As an example, a Bitcoin transaction can take anywhere from 30 to 30 minutes to 4 hours to be confirmed. And in many cases, that's not acceptable. There are newer technologies that can be where transactions can be confirmed instantly, and thousands of them at a time. And so Bitcoin is the original, but now begin to look at other technologies. If you're an investor, you're going to want to find the faster, better investment. Bitcoin will probably always remain as a store of value, and that value is always reflected in its market price. But there are others that are up and coming that you'll be able to follow in the future, and you'll be able to see their technology and how it will impact the blockchain. I'm Sergeant Crypto here, Crypto Team 6. Thank you for watching, and good luck with your investing. Sergeant Crypto out. Sergeant Crypto back here again for Bitcoin. By the way, I need to add one little nugget here. The question arises is, how do I get some Bitcoin? Where can I get it? If you're looking to buy and sell Bitcoin, I'm going to recommend Coinbase. Coinbase is in 32 different countries, and Coinbase allows you to sign up for an account, and then once you have an account, you'll be able to attach a bank account or a credit card to it. Coinbase will provide you with a wallet, and that wallet will give you the ability to send your Bitcoin to another wallet. So in this case, if you wanted to purchase some Bitcoin, you would go to Coinbase, you would enter a credit card, you'd tell them how much Bitcoin you want to purchase. They would charge your credit card. That credit card would then be validated, and the Bitcoin would be converted to the amount that you were charged. It will go into your wallet, and then you would send it, if you would like, to anybody who has a wallet, or you could receive it in your Exodus wallet. So you would go here, you would go to your Exodus wallet and say, I want that Bitcoin in my Coinbase account to go to my Exodus wallet. You'll copy your receive address. You'll go back to Coinbase. I'm not logged in here, so I can't do it. But you would put your Exodus address in here, and you would hit send. And in the period of about 30 minutes to 4 hours, depending on the length of time that it takes to confirm those blocks, that money will show up in your Exodus wallet, and you can begin using it. You can exchange it for other. Okay, so say you purchase your Coinbase money, it gets here, and you want to exchange it for some other currency. You would go in here, you'd say, okay, I want to take $100 of my Bitcoin and exchange it for Ethereum, or exchange it for Bitcoin Gold, or Bitcoin Cash, or Dash, or some other currency. Well, that's what the beauty of Exodus Wallet is. So once you get some Bitcoin into your Exodus Wallet, you can exchange it for other coins. You can hold your portfolio and keep a running tab of all the currencies that you have, or you can send it to somebody that you might owe money to. So that's just a little follow-up. Sergeant Crypto here. That's all I have for you on Bitcoin. Go get yourself a Coinbase account at coinbase.com, www.coinbase.com. Get yourself an Exodus wallet at www.exodus.io and start buying and selling crypto. Sergeant Crypto here, Crypto Team 6, out. By the way, did you know that every day we take 1/2 of the value in our Exodus wallet and divide it into 3 parts? We then draw 3 Litecoin addresses from the tips that were given on the previous day. The first address gets 50%, the second address gets 30%, and the third address gets 20% of the proceeds. This is our way of giving back to the community that supports us. Keep watching, and thank you for your continued support. Sergeant Crypto, out.